So, seven possible future application of Neuralink will be the ability to save and replay memories or save and replay mind states. It's a way to do what Daniel Kahneman, for example, talks about, as many of us kind of live life through memories of previous events. So, kind of the memorable, special things that happen to us are experienced more deeply and more frequently through our memories than directly when we actually experience them for the first time. And the exciting possibility of Neuralink is basically improving the resolution of that memory replay that we generally do anyway. As people should check out Daniel Kahneman's work, he describes it quite eloquently. And it's true, many of us live in our memories. It's also, from a certain perspective, nice to be able to modify, delete, or alter some of those memories. So, for example, on a darker side, it could be traumatic events that, from a psychological perspective, could be haunting. You can remove or at least alleviate the impact of those memories onto your cognition, or maybe pull stuff from the subconscious. You can think of it as Freud's favorite kind of toolkit to play around and explore with our own mind to discover our demons. So, as opposed to the David Goggins approach that I've taken recently of doing insane amounts of exercise to discover and have a conversation with my demons, could do it in a more controlled and safe environment of brain-computer interfaces. As a quick side note, there's interesting echoes of the memory replay that you see in our reinforcement learning systems. So it's kind of interesting to think that instead of just us being able to replay our memories, it could be our own little machine learning systems that can learn something from our previous memories by replaying them over and over to try to give us maybe a strategy of how to avoid those memories in the past. So it's basically converting our prior experiences into data. And once it's converted into data, that could be used for all kinds of applications. So you can think of like a personal machine learning system that can replay your memories and try to be a personal executive assistant to you to advise you what to learn from those experiences. With a lot of these applications that I've already discussed, privacy and security is of paramount importance. I mean, like with actually a lot of our technology, but this is very much at the forefront of what Neuralink is working on currently and always will be. And I think a lot of companies in general in the tech space will sink or swim based on how much they respect privacy and security. I think in the early days of our development with social networks and so on, you could get away easier by being careless with people's data. I think my long term, perhaps optimistic, but I think it's a realistic view of the future that people will demand much more control over their data, demand much more transparency around privacy and security, transparency and clarity. So, of course, that's underlying all the different futures that I'm discussing. And finally, to move a little bit beyond the ability to save and replay memories, is to save mental states. And that's essentially a path towards digital immortality. So you can think of being able to save the contents or the critical contents of your mind into digital form and then being able to transfer it to other systems, to robots, or as in, for example, my discussion with Sarah Seeger, who searches for habitable planets outside our solar system, exoplanets. We discussed the idea that one way perhaps to reach far away livable planets that might have extraterrestrial intelligent life on them is by sending digital humans there. So being able to save essential or entire contents of the human mind and to be able to reload it once you arrive into any kind of, whether it's a biological or a robotic system. So that's the kind of stuff that Ray Kurzweil thinks about. It's also a kind of stuff that I think a lot of people are excited about, is the ability to store and digitally transfer the contents, the important, the beautiful contents of the human mind.